Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Tons of new content in NHL's Hockey Ultimate Team today, including some new banger, cheaper options outside of Team of the Year, as well as some of the higher end X Factors and Master Set players. We're going to cover all that, but I want to start first with the 96 Tim Stützle, as he scored again the prior night. 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 99 agility. He's got silver unstoppable force. I'm going to put elite edges back on him, and with Thief makes him one of the better centermen in the game. Obviously not a card that a lot of people are going to be able to go out and get, but if you listened to me earlier when the event was going on, I told you that this is probably the best one, the safest one to go out and get, and he turns out that is the case. I do want to mention real quick, for anyone that still got Cam Fowler, I'm starting to get a little nervous. He's been a really, really good card. His shot has been sneaky good, and he's very quick from the back end. However, his abilities aren't all that great. I don't mind Seeing Eye, but it costs a lot for 6, especially if you have a very good team. If you have Cam Fowler, if he scores one more time, I'm probably selling him for 1.8 million, whatever the high range is, because there's a lot of other fantasy hockey cards that are getting increases, and we're going to probably have our first 99 very shortly. Now, before we get into some of today's content, guys, I want to talk about yesterday's Game Day tilt cards that came out, the 83 Taylor Hall, as well as the 83 Anders Lee. Now, the Anders Lee, I think you can kind of forget about. He's not nearly as impactful as Taylor Hall is. These are going to cost 9 Team of the Year collectibles to make, and it doesn't appear you're going to be able to get them on the auction house, because I think the cap that you're able to sell them for is just so fast that they get bought up immediately. Now, Taylor Hall is interesting because he's got 91 speed, 90 acceleration. That's usable right now regardless. It's going to cost you about 200,000 coins to make enough collectibles to get Taylor Hall, the 9 that you've used. Now, if you've gone out and done the objectives and you've got a few free Team of the Year collectibles, I think I would risk it on this. Let's say he got up to 89 overall, which is about 3 points per game, which is totally doable. He'd have 94 speed, 93 acceleration, and he's 6'1", 210 with, around 90 shooting. For 200K, that's probably what he would go for. Now, if he flames out and he only gets 85, that's pretty tough, but I think this is a decent card to kind of risk it on, because if he actually goes up to 92, 93, you're looking at one of the fastest cards in the game for, 200,000 coins, which could be a steal. So, I personally, if I had the coins, I would go ahead and make them, but again, it is a very big risk. All right, guys, now we're at the point of the year where they release just so many cards in a day, and with my own site coming, having to add in the cards manually, I just kind of get a better sense of how many there is in a day. For example, there's 20 more cards added today, but there's about 5 to 7 that are even somewhat interesting to use. So I'm only going to cover those ones in these videos, but this Nikolai Aleksander is going for 18,000 coins. If you've just started the game around the holidays, or even if you've got a free-to-play team, this is a unbelievable left-handed winger to go out and get. 92 speed, 92 acceleration. His shot's in the high 80s, which is kind of weak. Hand stats around 89 in the low 90s, but he has silver unstoppable force. This is a phenomenal card for 20,000 coins. If you are free to play, or you just started your team, 100% this should be one of the first cards you grab. Next up, we've got the 87 Shea Theodore, and man, it's wild they gave him an X Factor and not players like Kucherov, for example. I guess they were just trying to fit in. They had a set number of defensemen to maybe get to, more at Siders and X Factor at launch of the game on the roster side of things, but not in HUT. And no disrespect to Shea Theodore, but this is his second upgrade all year, I think. Anyway, 6'2", 197, which is good size. He's got Distributor, which can get him to 89 acceleration. Again, if you just started the game, this is actually kind of a sneaky buy. He's in about the 28,000 coin, 30,000 coin range. Defensemen in that middle tier are really hard to come by, especially left-handed ones. So ones that are bigger and have okay skating. Again, 87 is kind of the lowest I would go, but I think that you can, get away with using this card, as I drop my controller while I'm recording this. All right, now taking a look at his X Factor at 87 overall now. So it's one of the cheaper ones to upgrade, because he just, is not very high overall at all. He's got Fly the Zone, and he has Thief as his second synergy as well. 89 speed, 88 acceleration. Honestly, his abilities are meh, because Heat Seeker, I think, is just not really one that's good at all. Elite Edges isn't terrible, but again, I think you want to use that on more impactful defensemen. It's tough, because you're spending 2, 4, 6, and then that's pretty much 10,000 coins to get there. So 6 power-up collectibles to get this 87 that's got 89 speed and 88 acceleration. There's probably better ways to spend your coins, but yeah, just not enough upgrades for Shea Theodore this year. And then going for 100,000 coins, we've got the new 91 Matthew Tkachuk. He's got workhorse and no contest. Not really a fan of the 100,000 coin price tag. He's got good size, but 88 speed, 90 acceleration. I think you'd want to go someone even a little bit bigger. There's some cards that we're going to talk about in just a little bit that might have a little bit more lineup flexibility as well, going for about the same price. No contest is an okay ability, but he's not going to see a ton of use out of it. It's hard to quantify. He's got a good shot and good size, but he needs like a couple skating synergies for him to be, really, really useful. Take a look at his X Factor, because again, it's one of the ones that's hard to really justify the price to go all the way up because his abilities are so poor. It's tricky, is almost pointless online, like unless you were playing, squad battles or you play, Hockey Ultimate Team just to go for deeks and stuff. Maybe, yeah, sure, I guess. And Total Eclipse and Big Tipper, which is an awesome combo. I just don't see it really mattering because you can still get tip shots through very, very easy. He does get Distributor as a third ability, Thief as his middle one, so he's going to start getting skating synergy soon, which would really help this card out. But again, you're looking at 3 power-up collectibles to go from 90 to 91 and 3 power-up collectibles to go from 89 to 90. So this is the issue. You're going to it takes 6 power-up collectibles to go up 1 overall in speed and acceleration, which is tough. So this is a pass for me. Next, we've got some rewind players. The 88 Glenn Anderson from the St. Louis Blues, 5'11", 174 with Magician and Shrug It Off. Shrug It Off, I guess, would be pretty useful, I guess, if you get hit with someone that has truculence. I guess, because it reduces energy loss when hit and the player is less likely to suffer winded get-ups, which I guess would only be impactful when you get massively crushed, and again, that's with truculence. So maybe this has some usefulness for only 1 ability point, but probably not. 91 speed, 89 acceleration is pretty decent. He's got 89 body checking. You'd want to see some of this be a little bit higher. However, 91 speed isn't terrible at all. If he had a hitting ability like truculence or maybe even shutdown, I think he'd be a little bit more useful. He's going for about 40,000 coins. I'd much rather have the Nikolai Ehlers with Unstoppable Force, though. Then we've got the 90 overall Eric Lindros, 6'4" with beauty backhand. Center is the position that requires speed the least, in my opinion, and he's got 89 on the faceoffs, and he built perfectly to be like a meta centerman, being able to bump everyone off the puck with 94 body checking. He's really sluggish. 86 skating at this point in the game means that there's no point in trying to break the puck out with him. Like, you're never going to be able to lug it out with him at this stage or ever get any sort of getaway. Like, you're always going to be surrounded by other players, so you're going to have to hold on to the puck. Like, if he had Unstoppable Force as well, where it should be almost impossible to get the puck off of him, maybe a little bit more impactful, but this one's going for about 120,000 coins. I think there's other centermen that I would rather have than him, but if you are someone that's in the high division 1 or 2 and plays that kind of puck possession game, he could be half decent. His icon now gets Thief as his last ability upgrade, which gives his faceoffs up to 92. He does have a skating synergy, which gets his speed up to 88. But again, you're looking at 5, 7, and then 9 as 11 power-up collectibles to go from his 83 or 84 all the way up to his 90. That's very, very expensive. Big Rig is not nearly as good as Unstoppable Force. However, he does have Silver Unstoppable Force in close quarters. So, again, you're looking at 25,000 coins per power-up icon. So, you got to buy the icon, and then you're looking at about 250,000 coins on top of it. That's a lot. And then lastly, for the rewind players, we've got the 91 Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh cards have usually been awful because they have a high aggression stat. This one's got 91. I've said this all year. I'm going to continue saying it. Goaltenders don't matter, especially in 23, because their animations are absolutely scuffed and broken. And until that's fixed, which will be at minimum NHL 24, unless you're a fan of Patrick Waugh, maybe go out and spend the amount of coins to get this because he's going to be kind of expensive just because of his overall. We've got some new milestone cards. This 89 Joe Nieuwendyk, who is always a very, very good centerman in this game, going for about 120,000 coins on PS5. And like, again, in contrast, he's 6'2", 205 with 96 faceoffs, 91 speed, 88 acceleration, and a mid-90s shot. I'd much rather have him than have to pay the price for Eric Lindros. And he has silver close quarters. If you are looking for a centerman, you can't afford a Master Set player, Team of the Year, don't have any X Factors, or anything like that, Joe Nieuwendyk is a great centerman option for 120, 130,000 coins, so I'd be on the lookout for him if you were trying to find a good centerman. We've also got the 91 Steve Yzerman with workhorse and close quarters, 89 speed, 92 acceleration. I'd much rather have Joe Nieuwendyk just because, well, Nieuwendyk's a little bit faster and bigger and a better faceoff rating. and a little bit higher body checking stat as well. So while Steve Yzerman's not a terrible option, I just wouldn't want to pay the price for him. We'll see what he's looking for in the auction house right now, and you're looking in the high hundreds. Like, there's no way I would pay that price for Steve Yzerman. There's way better options. Let's take a look at his icon now, though. His icon's a little interesting. He does have Thief as his second option, and he has Fly the Zone, which gets his speed to 91. Gold Elite Edges, Born Leader, which loses its effectiveness as the year goes along, but he has 95 face-offs. Like, not terrible, but again, you're looking at a ton of investment now to get him all the way up to 91, and he did get a speed increase, meaning that the next time he goes up to his 92, he's probably not going to get a speed increase. And then the last card I want to talk about is this 92 David Krejci, and for all the Christmas Krejci owners, it kind of sucks because this card's way better in my opinion. He's got Protector as well as Gladiator, which gets his body checking up. He's got Fly the Zone or Wingman, so he's got 92 acceleration, 92 speed, but he's got Gold Unstoppable Force, Elite Edges, and Quick Draw. This is a phenomenal center build, and he's got 92 on the draw. You could play him on the wing as well, which gives you some lineup flexibility. Right now, he's going for like 400,000 coins, which is brutal. But yeah, this is just a much better version, and I think that could be a sneaky effective card if he comes down in price, because right now it's just way too high, but a really, really good David Krejci card. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's content. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.